Hello kittens, in this video we're going to be reviewing wriothesley's signature weapon, the Cashflow Supervision. We're going to explain how it works, the passive, on which characters it can work, and if it's worth pulling for or not. So yeah, let's start. Alright, so first of all, what is this, bro? What is that? Is this like from Honkai or something? Like, what is that? Like 5-star weapons before, like when you look at them, you're like, oh, they look cool. Right now, this can genuinely pass as a 3-star weapon. Like, it's just wood. Like, what's going on? But yeah, anyways. So first of all, this weapon is going to have 674 base attack at level 90. That's a super high base attack for a catalyst. Even for a 5-star catalyst, it's definitely on the higher side. It's definitely above average. Average is usually like 608 base attack. So the base attack is definitely above average. Now for the substat, we have crit rate as a substat, which is super good. At level 90, you're going to have 22% crit rate, which is kind of below average, but it's obviously it's expected. The higher base attack, you're going to have a lower substat. 22% crit rate is still pretty decent though. So yeah, generally speaking, as a stat stick, it's definitely going to be a decent stat stick. So on that end, like it's already usable on a lot of like characters. Anyone who needs like base attack and then crit rate, it's going to be usable on them. So yeah, it's already decent on like stat stick wise. But now moving on to the important thing, which is the passive. So you have attack is going to be increased by 16%. That's just like a flat increase. When you equip this weapon, you're going to have a 16% attack increase, which is pretty good. It's not really a lot, but especially with the high base attack, it's definitely going to be pretty decent. And then you have when current HP increases or decreases, your normal attack damage is going to be increased by 16%, and then your charge attack damage is going to be increased by 14% for 4 seconds. So you're going to have to be healed or lose HP somehow. When you do that, your normal attack damage is going to be increased, and also your charge attack damage is going to be increased for 4 seconds with a maximum of 3 stacks. So you can have a maximum of a 48% normal attack damage increase and a maximum of 42% charge attack damage increase if you have the full 3 stacks. And then also if you have the full 3 stacks at the same time, your attack speed is going to be increased by 8%. So for this passive generally to work, you're going to need to be constantly healed or damaged, but your HP needs to be like continuously changing. As you guys can see, even like 1 stack doesn't really last for super long. It's only 4 seconds. So your HP needs to change at least like 3 times to get the full 3 stacks. And then it's going to need to keep changing because you cannot maintain that for like a super long time. It's only 4 seconds, then you lose the stacks. So your HP needs to be in like constant change. Alright, so now moving on to characters, we're going to see on which of the characters this weapon work. So it gives you like normal attacks damage increase, and then charge attacks damage increase, and also your attack speed is going to be increased plus attack and crit rate. So any DPSs generally that are going to be using normal or charge attacks, this weapon is going to be viable on them if and only if they can trigger the passive, which means their HP needs to be changing. So right off the bat, I'm just going to tell you guys, pretty much none of these characters is going to be able to use this weapon on their own, just period. The only like 2 characters who can change their HP are going to be like Neviette and then wriothesley. Other than that, none of these characters can like self-sufficiently trigger the passive. It's just not possible. None of these characters can change their HP, at least like this consistently, except for like maybe Barbara or some shit, but it doesn't matter. So based on that, I can tell you this weapon alone as a weapon and for characters alone, it's only gonna work on wriothesley and Neviette. But we have a new character coming up, which is Furina, and within her kit, she's going to be able to change your HP. If you have her on your team, she's going to be giving you buffs and also changing your HP. I'm not going to get too much into it right now, but if you play her on your team, you're going to be able to take advantage out of this weapon's passive, like no matter what character is using this weapon, because Furina is going to be the one changing your HP for like the whole team members. Now, I know a lot of people will get Furina because she's the Archon and stuff like that, so I'm going to be reviewing this weapon on characters assuming Furina is on their teams. If you have Furina, you're going to be able to take advantage of this weapon on pretty much anybody, which is good. So it's going to make it that any character who can use like charge or normal attacks, this weapon is going to be good on them, again, if Furina is on their teams. So starting off with Lisa, she can use it as a DPS, Barbara can use it too, Ningguang can use it too, Klee can use it, Mona probably not. Sucrose, no. Yanfei can use it. Again, any character who uses normal or charge attacks, it's going to be viable on them. Kokomi, maybe not. Yaimiko, no. Heizu, no. Nahida, no. Wander, it's actually going to be pretty good on him. I think it might be even best in slot if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not best in slot, but it's probably going to be like around S tier if you play like Furina with him. So yeah, it's definitely going to be viable on him and work pretty well. Beiju, no. wriothesley is obviously going to be his best in slot, and it can also work on him without Furina, so that's gonna be good. Same thing with Neviette. And then Charlotte is probably not gonna work on her. So as you guys can see here, it's gonna be working on quite a few characters. You know, a lot of Catalyst users are gonna be like normal attacks, damage dealers, which means this weapon is gonna work on them pretty well if you have Furina on your team. So yeah, should you get this weapon or not? I mean, I would say if you're planning to get Furina 100% and you don't really have any like other catalysts, I would say yeah, go for it, because you're gonna be able to play this weapon on any character pretty much who needs it. With Furina, doesn't matter if they can like trigger the passive on their own or not, Furina is gonna be able to do the job. And it's a very good weapon, you know, high base attack, crit rate, and then, you know, a pretty good passive attack. If you already have like a decent catalyst, I would say just skip, to be honest. It's definitely not really, you know, game breaking or anything like that. It's just another like decent catalyst. If you're not planning to get Furina, or even like if you're not sure, I would say definitely skip this catalyst, because like it's simply not gonna work on any characters except if you're getting it for like Wriothesley or something like that, then maybe. Other than that, I would say definitely skip if you're not getting Furina. The thing is, I mean, I would expect a lot of people to get Furina, so I think this weapon is generally gonna be good like overall. But yeah, I gotta say, like, if you're not getting Furina or you don't know, then in that case you should probably skip this weapon, because it's just simply not gonna work on most of the characters. So yeah, if you're getting Furina, get this weapon. If not, definitely skip. But yeah, that was the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Peace.